Morning, everybody. It's the 9th of July. We are Signal Centre Talking Ball. I'm Joe Neighbour, joined by Ian Coleman and Steve O'Hare. Morning, guys.
Morning,
Good
all.
morning.
Everybody all right?
Yeah, all good.
Yes.
All good in the hood.
Excellent. Any news?
Loads of news.
Yeah, there's lots of news. Don't know whether any is relevant.
Okay.
12
to
million.
anything.
12 million. We hit 12 million cases yesterday of
Right.
corona. A lot of places that are starting to see renewed cases, second waves. I think there's a big. Me personally, I think there's going to be a really big worry about whether or not we've opened up too soon and we're pushing everybody into restaurants and bars and all the rest of it.
So Rishi yesterday said that everybody's going to get a voucher to go and
Tenner.
eat out.
Yeah.
Tenner off. Not on
Yeah.
alcohol, though. Pointless. Waste of
Yeah.
money.
Can't spend £10 on veggie food, can you, Joe?
Yeah, you can. You can eat like a king.
Bowl of peas, please.
Yeah, and they're rioting in Belgrade, aren't they?
Oh, really? What's that about?
Yeah, well, the second lockdown.
Okay.
But my brother's wife is saying that it's actually more of just a riot against the establishment as opposed to sort of rules and regulations with regards to coronavirus.
That's what we seem to be seeing everywhere, isn't it? Those sort of stands against.
Well, it looks like the
political
British
parties.
police are pretty fucked, aren't they, at the moment? The Met Police, I mean, every time they go in somewhere, they run away.
Yeah.
It's
Not
frightening.
good. It is a little bit.
I
That's why
just don't watch the news, and I don't know about all this. So it's in my little bubble, it's absolutely fine.
When's the last time you went out the front door, Stevie?
March 25th. Yeah, I mean, I can look outside, so everything looks all right out there.
Yeah, the garden's
good.
nice as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of time and effort.
grass has been watered, and there's lots of
Been a bit
lots
too
of,
much water over the last couple of days.
Yeah, lots of football going on. Lots of good results coming in.
Yeah,
Lots of records being broken.
not yet. Haven't
There's
broken
been a
yet,
few.
have ya?
There's been a
You
few.
could have the.
What's the biggest distance between the first and second place? What was that so
I don't
far
know.
ever?
Man City won 5-0 yesterday, so I don't think that'll be happening.
Oh, it will.
Will it?
There's about 22 points difference or something. That's
Who's-
quite a lot.
Who's counting now? Anyway, it's done, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway,
exactly.
let's talk markets.
Okay. Anyone got anything they want to show us?
Yes.
I-
No.
Go on, who
First,
wants to
go
go
on,
first?
then.
Just,
I knew you
I'll-
were keen.
this bellwether CAC, the bellwether CAC of the European stock indices. Look at this. I mean, does this not just scream out, get the fuck out of here and start selling shit out of stocks? Wedge, 78.6%. And then I think this is a head and shoulders.
It looks
I
like
think
one
if
to me.
Yeah.
if
it
it
looks
gets,
like a good
I think if
average.
it gets through here, boom, 4682, and commodity currencies, which obviously risk on, risk off, they're looking a bit wobbly. If I go to this is New Zealand dollar, so we've got this trend of lower highs here. Are we going to just stick our head above it? It's about 65, 67. We've got this 161.8% extension level at 66.13. If you go to the daily chart and I just put an oscillator on it, any oscillator, pick an oscillator, RSI, got huge divergence. Chart makes a higher high, oscillator makes a lower high. Again, they've got that fib level there. And then if you go to this chart, even though we're sort of breaking two new highs, this area here, 27 to 40, would form a bearish butterfly pattern. So I think that all these little last ditch attempts
So if it hasn't
are all going to
completed the
finish.
butterfly yet, does that mean it's a caterpillar?
It's
Nice.
a growing butterfly, yes. This is a caterpillar. So we're in a caterpillar at the moment. We're waiting for it to sprout wings and fuck off down here somewhere. And Aussie dollar's very similar. You've got these sort of fib levels up to the upside. So and dollar, just last thing before I stop chuntering. Dollar index, it's a bit off because was that a double top or not? But 78.6% here, So maybe just a little dip lower in the index. And looking at the baskets, dollar index is near a completion 9, and a lot of the commodity currencies are near completion 9s as far as DMARC's concerned. So that would indicate that that the upside is limited. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at CAC, and I'm looking at so risk off, run to the dollar, and run to yen.
I'm just on the back of what you just said there, drawing head and shoulders patterns on all the markets
Everything.
that I can now.
Yeah. In fact, what you're not actually, Joe. You're drawing potential head and shoulders patterns,
Potential.
which
So
is
this is
it's a key word. It's
FTSE,
all. It looks like it's about to form a head and shoulders, but
but it hasn't yet.
there's a good chance it's not.
Yeah, a lot of them don't
That's
work
the problem.
out.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. Perfect. I mean, well, that's not so perfect because it's.
Yeah, euro sterling's pretty perfect.
What's wrong with that, Steve?
The euro sterling.
Yeah,
the euro sterling's work.
Pretty perfect.
Yeah, but that's because it's confirmed. It's broken, so but it's still hanging around the neckline. So I'm not 100% convinced by it, but the risk reward is good.
Yeah,
This is the one we talked about yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I got the same one up, and it's I think brilliant. Sell the 90 level, and the potential risk reward is fantastic. 88.20 is the target.
Yeah.
So brilliant.
There.
A lot of the others, I think the CAC looks a little bit like a potential one. I think FTSE for me as well. It sort of broke below the that sort of trend line support yesterday. When I was analysing it, it was below it. So I was thinking, this is it. We're going lower, and it's pulled back above, so that the support is held. So we've got it's almost, you know, you've got that. Everyone's a bit exhausted with the sort of continual rally in the stocks, and I sort of get it. I'm the biggest bear in the world, but
I mean, that's my DAX chart today. I'm actually looking to buy a dip, so I can, now see that there is that potential for a top taking shape. But it's just every time we get a decent dip, there's buyers willing to buy it back. So I'm looking down here for a potential.
It's nice support though, there, isn't it? You've got your fib and the higher lows.
Yeah.
So we'll see if that works out. Steve, do you want to share some charts?
Yeah. As we were talking about the euro sterling, we've had a decent outside candle here, or bearish engulfing candle rather, not an outside candle exactly. So targeting a move down to I don't know if I got triggered on that or not. I don't think I have yet. Euro yen, a little bit the same yesterday. Was this is a decent trend line. It's connected on 4 or 5 points like we talked about yesterday. And again, I'm looking to it had a decent sort of correction high yesterday. I'm looking to try and get long of this a little bit higher, and the stop just below the trend line. Just looking for good risk reward trade ideas. The FTSE was looking to sell a break of this yesterday because it was below it, and I thought this is looking good. It's going to go lower, and again, it's come lower in the last hour or so. So, but I'm thinking we're just going to get head faked again.
It's a good chance.
Yeah, copper broke that 270 level, and it's just flown through the 280 level. So two decent psychological levels. Look at the copper on the longer term chart. We're approaching this decent.
Metals look really strong, don't they?
Yeah,
Silver
they
and
do.
gold look great.
Oh, silver looks. I mean, silver. We've been talking about this for a while. I've been selling this. Oh, why didn't that click on? There we go. I've been continuing to sell rallies around this level, and it's worked really nicely. Built up some nice P from it, but yesterday it got taken out on the stop, but only lost 1 R. So, look again. I'm looking now to buy the dip because it's broken that level. It's a decent level. We're looking to target 1895. Look back on the weekly chart.
That's the previous high from.
Yeah, going back to the start of the year, 24th February, my birthday. And then the next one is going back to the highs of September 2019. That comes in at 1965. So
is that the year you were born?
Yeah, that's not far off. Cheeky feck. Nikkei I keep talking about 22,800 level again in here, and it's been working really good. Last night I went down to 22,650, and again clipped it. Yeah, so that's breaking
Look at you.
22,830.
Nikkei guru. We need to start selling your services
I
out.
know. Might as well just
Out in
done
Asia.
Nikkei. Saved a lot of time this year, wouldn't it? If we'd have concentrated on one market. If only we knew for sure. VIX again, sort of like still hanging around that 30 level. So it's come down from this other spike. Don't know. It just feels like the equity bulls are just sort of playing with us. Gold. Obviously, gold against silver. Remember the levels we talked about. Sort of eternity highs we're trading around. Gold is 120 times the silver price. That's the most it's ever been. At the moment, it's around 90 times. $1,812 against 1887, so it's just below the 100 level. So silver maybe has to do a lot of catching up. I think historically it usually trades around 30 times the value. So
Okay.
trading around 100 times, up to 120 more recently in recent times is a bit unusual. But there's a lot of talk about the gold and about delivery of gold, and
There's a lot of people saying that the bull market is very unloved in gold still. So despite it being really high, it's not a massively oversubscribed rally.
Yeah, but I think the majority of shorts are in swaps, which I don't really understand a huge amount about it, but it's very unusual for the majority of shorts to be in swaps. So there could be a bit of a detachment between the physical gold price and the ETF gold price, from what I understand. I just think if the longs had demanded delivery across the globe, we'd have a real problem. There's not enough gold to go around.
Yeah.
So these getting up to sort of like all-time highs again, getting close to them is a bit of a and you sort of like get a little bit of dollar weakness, so you sort of naturally get there anyway.
Well, if you get any sort of selling in equities, then you're going to see that even higher, aren't you?
Yeah, as long as people aren't then having to sell their gold longs to fund their shit equity position.
Yeah,
that's
what happened last time.
That's exactly what happened last time, and people have got short memories. You'd like to think they'd remember back to what was going on in February and March, but I don't know. People get carried away, and it's a different, maybe a different sort of ownership of the equities now. It's sort of like the retail market is being told by equities, so that's what they do. They pass on the ownership from the government, the banks, to the retail. The retail ends up with a debt. So thanks very much, government and banks.
Yeah. Steve, I just wanted to bring up your Nikkei trades this year.
Oh,
that is mightily impressive.
Is that it?
That's just this year.
Is that it? Yeah, but go back 2 years, it's probably not as good as that.
Well, I'm only looking at this year.
Yeah, go back 2 years.
46 trades, 26 wins, 32% return with only a 3% drawdown.
Yeah, I must have cheated somewhere along
Might as well just do that one, surely.
Yeah. If anyone's on the premium signals, just follow Steve's Nikkei trades.
Yeah, they're looking at
us getting out of bed in the morning.
They're looking at my gun-to-head challenge and thinking, how the fuck has he worked that one out? He must be getting it all back to front.
That's one big sharp ratio, nearly 7.6.
Yeah, you don't see those very often, do you?
I'll get people knocking the door down saying, please trade Nikkei for me. Please trade Nikkei for me.
Going to get the desk over in
no, because that'll all change then, won't it?
Yeah.
I have to leave my rabbit.
Outside your comfort zone.
I'll have to leave my rabbit.
Because it's an overnighter and we can't fiddle with it.
Yeah, don't fiddle with trades. Just like put the trade on and just let it go and just don't even think about it. Sleep through it. You don't even know if you don't even know you've got a position.
The best thing about all this, you made all these returns while you was asleep.
Yeah, exactly. I make money in my sleep. So not many people can say that. That is the thing, isn't it? You sort of, if you don't sort of like stress about a trade and you don't sort of like mess about with it, and you consistently, because on the Nikkei actually, which is one of the markets that I always go for at least a 3-to-1 risk reward, sometimes a little bit more. I mean, what's the returns? Can you show the returns? What the R is return wise?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, no
So when
more
you
than
win,
3.
when you're winning big.
Yeah.
I think you've had 12 trades out of that 46 that have gone on to hit target.
No.
I'm sure I must have fiddled the books. I'd have to.
36R.
I think you should get the stewards out for that.
Yeah, I might do actually. Can't have that.
No, go through it with a fine tooth comb, someone.
Okay, right. Anyone got a trade for today? In fact, let's skirt over Ian's victory yesterday on Gun to the Head because that was a good one. We had our 3 trades as usual. Let's just get those up. Okay, so I went short of Sterling New Zealand and had a 0.32R loss on the close. Steve, you went short of Euro Sterling as we've discussed. Didn't quite get the movement we was hoping for on that, but it's still a win of 0.17R. But Ian stole the show with a 2.77R win on the dollar CAD.
Lovely. Back in the game.
Well done. So overall, nice little tick up in the P&L there. Basically on trend support, I would have said.
Yeah.
So
Looking like it.
hope we can push back up to new all-time highs in the next week or so. So who wants to go first? It's Ian. It's your honour.
Your honour.
Yeah, I'm having a really good scout. I was thinking about that CAC, but then
You're thinking what CAC means.
CAC, yes, exactly. And one thing I'm slightly concerned about is if it doesn't break this neckline and then it sort of goes up. Most corrective formations are in 3 waves, so if that's 1, then this should go up in 3. This is actually where we're targeting to get short today, 5074. So do I really want to be selling it? The R would be crap, is what I'm saying, waffling. And there's nothing else that I really fancy from current levels, so I'm going to have to go for Dixie and get my stop under here. Because that's where I think it's going to focus on. So I'm going to have to go long at current levels. That'll do. There you go. That's quick and nicely. 96.45 targeting 97.74. We'll stop at 96.08, which is just below the 78.6% fib, which I think there's a very good chance we could reach.
Nice.
Like it. Steve, what you got?
I'm going to go Euro Sterling. It's sort of like just stick with it, keep a tight stop in it, but I'm going to go for some decent reward. If it does break this level, the last 4-hour bar, let's see if it's been in the last hour, I think. Yeah, this sell-off over the last couple of hours. I know it's reacted a little bit higher. Let's get in here. Let's sell Euro Sterling at 89.75. Let's put the stop at, is it a 90? Yeah, 90 the figure. I'll normally put it just above it. Let's put it at 90.10. 90.10. 35. Let's go for a 4-to-1 risk reward.
Lovely. I like that one.
So what does that mean we're targeting? We're targeting, moving close to the measured move target. We're targeting a move to 88.35. Get on it quick. It's going to disappear. I was going to do Nikkei, but then I'd get a huge amount of complaints saying you can't have that track record and you just fucked it up and gone to the head. But yeah, Euro Sterling for me.
Okay, good luck. I am struggling, but I'm going to take a look at dollar Swiss. I'm trying to sell it today on our intraday analysis. I'm trying to sell it up here at 94.23. That's sort of up there at the upper end of the channel. Just post that in the free ideas as well. But for the gun to the head, I am going to try and buy it, targeting my entry. So trade it in both directions if I can. So I'm going to buy it now at 93.75. I'm going to target the entry at 94.23. And I'm going to place a stop just below the lows that we've posted in the last couple of hours or so at 93.61. So cool. 3R. But overall bearish on that. You can see there's quite a nice channel. I just want to sell it a bit higher. So I'm going to try and play that on the upside as a speculative bounce to try and get into my short trade on the intraday analysis.
Lovely.
Okay, so news-wise, we covered most of it. We had Chinese stocks leading the way yet again yesterday. Continue to be very bullish despite dealing with coronavirus difficulties. There were some positive US corona developments in the US. New York are going to start opening malls from the 10th of July, so from tomorrow. There was a slight slowdown in the infection rate in Arizona, but on the flip side of that, California recorded a substantial increase in new infections, over 11,000, with Tennessee posting a record number of new cases.
What, in one day?
Well, yeah, 11,000. So the total US count was around 60,000 yesterday.
Jesus Christ.
And Trump continues to say that everything's fine.
Yeah.
And yeah, nothing to worry about. Obviously, we had these big announcements from Chancellor Rishi Sunak yesterday. He announced a £30 billion support package for the economy with a new job retention scheme that will encourage employers to retain employees once the furlough scheme ends in October. He also cut stamp duty, increased the stamp duty threshold up to $500,000, as we spoke about yesterday. So he made good on that. And of course, a few vouchers for people to go out and enjoy some meals in pubs and restaurants.
We love Rishi, don't we?
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah, he's
I think.
all right.
I think
Speaks
he's really
very
good.
well.
Yeah.
He's throwing enough dough at it. I'm sure you'll still get everyone fucking complaining.
Oh, yeah.
They
He said that yesterday in his speech. Whatever I say, people will complain about. So it was,
yeah, just the mentality of people.
Have some more.
Just the idiots complaining. I've got a little thing that I wanted to show you. It wasn't.
Oh no, thank
not
you.
Done by us. No, that was a big thing, Ian. You know that. Quite an interesting thing. Trading View charts we use. They're pretty good, very reasonably priced, and they've got some.
We're on
They've got a new
commission.
thing called
Must be.
Editor's
You're
Pick.
right with that.
No, it's just it's one of the editor's picks that I saw today, and it just talks about risk reward. I know we're sort of like we're going into the sort of the news and everything, but I wanted to sort of like bring this up before I forgot about it. It's talks about your average win rate and what your minimum risk reward ratio needs to be for that to be successful. So if you sort of like have a win rate above 66.6%, you can have a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. If your win rate is between 33 and 50, ours is around 50, just below maybe, 3-to-1 risk reward is the minimum you need to have. Don't need to have any more.
It's
than
interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's stuff we know, but it's nice when it's sort of like put out in a nice little spreadsheet. So
he's gone to some effort of sticking out on a chart, hasn't he?
Yeah. I don't know what happens if you press play. No,
I like that. Can you send that over to me?
Yeah.
Lovely. Okay, data-wise today, we've got US initial jobless claims out at 130. Claims expected to fall to 1.38 million from 1.43 million a week earlier. So keep an eye on your US dollar crosses come 130. And I think it's pretty quiet other than that for the rest of the day. There are some Eurogroup meetings that are going on. So if there's anything that we see that we feel is breaking news and people should get on, we'll stick it in our premium community group for our members to stay on top of it.
Nice one.
Great. Let's wrap it up then, shall we?
Yeah. Good luck,
Cracking.
everyone.
Have a good day, everyone.
Yeah.
See you
Cheers,
later.
lads.
Bye-bye.
Bye.